In front of me is a box dated January 15th, 1972, and it contains 5 proof brown Ikes from 1971S. We are going to open up this box today. We're also going to inspect all the brown Ikes for any of the different reverse types, possible DDOs, DDRs, or peg legs, and see if we have any worth submitting to PCGS. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure and welcome back to the channel. Pretty cool that we got this box of Ikes, and I'm sure in the intro I named off a bunch of things that some of you are not familiar with. So really quickly, before I open the box, let me show you some of the things that we're going to be looking for today. First thing is the peg leg. We're looking for the peg leg on the R. Instead of having the serif like the B has on the back, it's just no serif, just the peg leg. Not a lot of value in that one, but it's something that we'll be looking for when we inspect the coins. The next thing we're going to be looking for is any of the DDOs. Now, the main DDOs for proofs are down here. We're looking for doubling on the L in Liberty. That's the FS103. And we're looking for doubling on the R in Trust, as well as the U. That's the 106. Those fetch pretty good values. So we're looking for the DDRs and DDOs. And then I think there's even one more that's right here that has doubling on the stars. And then the DDR that we're really looking for is the 801 that has doubling on America. So that's the main ones that we're looking for. On top of that, there's also something that could be amazing if we found it, is the reverse one, or the first reverse on it as well, type 1. If we go to that one, what we're looking for is right here on the islands off the Florida Keys. Right there, we're looking for those 3 islands to be pronounced, because a normal one, if I go to a normal 1971S silver, those islands are a blur. You really can't see them that well. As you can see there, there's not 3 distinctive islands. So now that we've covered all that, now that we know what we're looking for, and now that we're ready to open the box, we're going to crack it open. Now, I've crossed out the customer information. Of course, this is from 1972, but I didn't want to show it just in case. Let's go ahead and get right into this. First time opening this box, cracking the seal. Look at that. And there you go. The reason why they're called brown Ikes is they're in the brown boxes versus the blue Ikes. If you've heard that terminology, blue Ikes look like this. They're in the blue ones. These are the uncirculated, non-proof 71S silvers. And these are the uncirculated San Francisco minted proof Ikes. So we'll just go ahead and grab one out of the box just like this. And for those wondering, man, I have to dump this out. For those wondering, I do have another box of these. I'm just doing one today for the video. 5 sets of them. Never seen human eyes since they were sent by the mint. This is hard to do one-handed. Let me go ahead and push this through really quick. All right. Now that we have it, we'll go ahead. Let me get this one out. I'll bring you guys back. That'll make it easier. All right. I've got the first one out. You can see it right here. A 71S Silver Ike proof. Can't get mad at that. Sounds like there's a little looseness to it, but let's first see if we see a peg leg on this one. No peg leg. You can clearly see that the R has the serif behind it, so it's not going to be the peg leg. And I will need my microscope, so let me set up the microscope, and now we'll check for the DDOs, the DDRs, and we'll take a look at those islands off the Florida Key. All right, I've got the microscope set up. We're going to check for the varieties on this one first, and hopefully we find one, but if not, I'm going to do the rest off camera. The first thing we're looking for is that peg leg. We saw naked eye, it didn't have one, but we always want to scope the coins regardless. So let me see if I can get the R brought up here on the camera. Yeah, not a peg leg. Not a peg leg at all. Obviously, there's some machine doubling here or some reflection doubling, but definitely has the full serif at the base of the R. Sorry about it being a little blurry, but I'm trying to do this with one hand on the camera. Next thing I look at is the words "In God We Trust," more specifically, the word trust, to see if there's any doubling on that. And I don't see any doubling on trust. So it's not going to be any of the DDOs or the peg leg, but we can also take a look at the back. We'll take a look at those islands off Florida first. Yeah, no 3 distinct islands, just a big blur down there. So it's not going to be the type 1 reverse, which is extremely rare. We'll next take a look at the A and the M in America. You recall there's a major DDR, and this is not going to be that. And then finally, we can do a quick look at the stars to see if it is the other lower value DDR with the stars being doubled. And we'll take a quick peek at those. I'll look at these again with my loupe under the camera, but don't see doubling on the stars so far. Just a little bit of mechanical doubling. All right, it's none of those. Judging by the way the coin looks, it's cloudy, so it doesn't have really any eye appeal toning. This is not going to be one that we would submit to PCGS for a grade. No need to. 1 down, 4 to go. I might do the other box if we don't find anything just for fun. We'll have to see. All right, let me get the other 4 done. I'll let you know my findings and then my decision on whether to do box 2 if we don't find anything worthwhile. All right, I've gone through all 5 of the Ikes. I didn't show it on camera. I forgot to go ahead and look at the L under the scope. I did look at the L and Liberty on all of them, and definitely don't have any varieties here. When they come in the same box, they're typically going to be 1 or 2 different die pairings at the most. So we just so happened to not get the pairings that had any of the DDOs or DDRs or peg legs and things like that. These are the 2 best that I found with the least amount of toning. This is probably the better of the 2. It's not perfect. None of these are going to be graders. I mean, it probably would get an MS 67 or 68 deep cam, and that's not going to fetch any extra value. You got to get that 69 or 70 on the Ikes. And this is the second best one. Some cloudiness still to it, a little bit of an ugly spot here and there. So, yeah, not the best looking ones. This is the best, not a grader. I'm going to do box 2. Let me grab the second box, put it up here. We'll open it. I'll get it all set up. And then I'm going to run through them off camera after I show you me opening them and then give you my findings on those with some final thoughts on Ike Dollars, especially Varieties in particular. All right, here's box number 2. And for sake of reference, this has registered mail 203 and that one was 206. So there were 3 different mailings in between those. I don't know if that means anything, but just thought I would say it. Here we go. Crack and open box number 2. Same date, January 15th, 1972. You guys know the drill. We've been through it already. Let me go ahead and crack these out, dump them out. You know what we're looking for. Hopefully, we can get a variety in here or at least a really nice Ike. But if we don't, you know what? I'm not mad at it. Not mad at it at all. All right. Let me go ahead and go through these, see if there's varieties. I'll show you the best 1 or 2 again, and again, bring you guys back on in. Well, we didn't find any varieties in that second box, but we had much nicer Ikes other than these 2 that were cloudy. Take a look at some of these. They're pretty nice overall, but they do have toning marks. And these are not ones you would submit like that. You know, if I wanted to be picky, I probably could pull one out, crack it, dip it. But at the end of the day, for those wondering about values, the 71S Deep Cameo, so that's the best finish on them, even in an MS or a Proof 69, I should say, only fetch around 60 to 100 bucks in value at best case. The 70s are the ones you want. Only 842 PCGS slabbed Proof 70 Deep Cameos, and those sell for $350 to $500 a piece. So that's what you're looking for when you're cracking these cases open. This is a really nice example as well. Second best from the box. And then I think the nicest one was this one. Just a little bit of toning. Again, that probably could be dipped off if you wanted to crack it out and try your luck at an MS or a Proof 70. Keep saying MS. Remember, mint state's for uncirculated coins and proof state is for proof coins. But Proof 70, probably not going to get it. So yeah, best case, that's a 69. It might be worth 60 bucks, but by the time I submit it, grade it, crack it out, do all the work, and get it back, it's a break-even proposition when I probably get 30 bucks or so just as is in the slab, which is why I like to keep them in their slab. So we didn't find any varieties. Didn't expect to with only 10 coins, but really what I wanted to do in this video is to let you guys know about the different varieties of Ikes to look for. And of course, if you have a fantastic deep cameo one like these ones, and it was in a perfect condition, then maybe consider submitting it for that 70. If you guys enjoyed A, opening a couple of old boxes with me, B, learning about the Ike Dollar varieties, and C, having fun watching me search, you know I certainly would appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching. Oh, you're still here? Well, I appreciate you watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, I decided to pick out a few more that I think you might enjoy, like that one right there, or this one down here. Anyways, thanks for watching, happy hunting, and we'll see you in the next video.